Hello, everybody. Hope you all are keeping well. So, we are going to continue with demand, and it's a little lengthy chapter. Don't worry, we are going to complete soon. And recently, I'll be giving you a worksheet related to the same. So, demand, I suppose the meaning is clear to everybody. The factors or the determinants affecting demand is clear to everybody. Then I taught you certain differences. I taught you the determinants of market demand as well as individual demand, the difference between individual demand and market demand, then types of demand, as well as certain differences. That is substitute good and complementary good and normal good and inferior good. So we'll begin further with this chapter and I'll be telling you the differences between changes in demand and changes in quantity demanded. I know both these words, they sound a little more or less the same, but there exists a vast difference between these two words. When we say changes in demand, so a little I'm explaining you here, changes in demand takes place due to other factors. As you studied the law of demand, what do you mean by law of demand? It refers to the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, keeping other factors constant. So students, when I told you the assumptions of law of demand, and if there are any changes taking place in the demand curve due to changes in these other factor which I told you as assumptions of law of demand, so that is known as changes in demand. And any changes in demand curve takes place due to changes in its own price. So then it is known as change in quantity demanded. For example, if there is rise in prices of any commodity and because of rise in prices of any commodity, the demand falls. And if the price falls, the demand rises. So because of only changes in its own price, if there is changes in demand, it is known as change in quantity demanded. But if the changes are because of price of substitute good, price of complementary good, income of the consumer, taste and preferences of the consumer, then it is known as changes in demand. All right, students, I am showing you these slides again and again so that you memorize whatever I have taught you. It becomes easy for you to recollect, okay, yes, we have done these all topics and I've explained you all these topics. With the help of these, it becomes very clear to you. Have a look at the assumptions of law of demand. And these assumptions are other factors. And if the changes in demand takes place due to these other factors, then it is known as change in demand. And when the changes takes place only because of its own price, then it is known as change in quantity demanded. I was explaining you. So just have a view at the assumptions of the law of demand, the demand schedule and the diagrammatic presentation. Now, have a look here. Difference between change in demand and changes in quantity demanded. Now, first of all, what do we say? That the first of all we talk about the meaning. The change in demand takes place due to other factors apart from its own price, but the change in quantity demanded takes place due to its own price of the commodity while keeping other factors constant. Change in demand, it has an alternative name. It is also known as shift of demand curve, and change in quantity demanded is also known as movement along the same demand curve. In case of change in demand, there is no price effect. The price of the commodity given remains constant. And in case of change in quantity demanded, there is price effect and the price effect remains negative. Why negative? Because of law of demand. Why law of demand? Because price rise, demand falls, price falls, demand rise. So, ho gaya na negative effect. Now, in case of change in demand, the price remains the same. As you can see in this diagram, this is the price line, which is a constant line, and the demand curve only shifts. but the price remains constant. Look at this diagram very minutely. I am showing you a closer view of the same. And in case of change in quantity demanded, the demand curve does not move, it does not shift. Only there is movement along the demand curve, but the demand curve does not shift. But in this case, the demand curve shift. That is why it is known as shift of demand curve, and this is also known as movement along the same demand curve. Now let us understand this further. In this case, children, have a look at the diagram. Changes in demand curve. The changes can take place, or the shift in demand curve can take place in two different ways. Either there can be a rightward shift in demand curve or a leftward shift in demand curve. Rightward shift represents increase in demand, and leftward shift indicates decrease in demand. Now, look at this diagram where we talk about contraction and expansion of demand. Now, students, here in this chapter demand, or specifically in economics, there is a difference of increase and expansion and decrease and contraction. Generally, we use these words interchangeably. We feel like increase means expanding, right? So it is more or less the same, but there is a difference. And what difference we do find here? Increase, that is rightward shift, takes place due to changes in other factors. But if the price rises, so the demand falls. As you can see, earlier the price was here. But if the price rises, so what happens to the demand? The demand contracts. That means demand falls. And if the price falls, as you can see, so what happens to the demand? The demand expands. That means downward movement along the same demand curve is known as expansion of demand. Upward movement along the same demand curve is known as contraction of demand. So I hope this is clear to everybody, the difference between change in demand and change in quantity demand. And to mention here, students, this is very, very important topic. And last here, we look at the schedule as well. This is what we have seen the diagrammatic presentation. Here the price remains constant, as we can see the price line, and the quantity demanded may decrease or it may increase at a given price. But in this case, if the price is rising, the demand falls. So there is a inverse relationship between price and the demand of the given commodity. Next, this we have already studied. So I'm going to explain you the diagrammatic presentation of substitute goods. Now, one thing again, I want to make very clear here, students, whenever we represent or we draw a demand curve, a demand curve will always be a downward sloping curve. It will be never upward sloping curve. But here, what do we see? That this curve is an upward sloping curve. That means it is not a demand curve, and that is the reason I have mentioned something here: diagrammatic presentation of substitute goods, not a demand curve. Remember this. So you look here on the x-axis, I've taken demand of tea. On the y-axis, price of coffee, right? So what happens if the price of substitute goods, let's say coffee, rises? So the demand of tea will rise, because now consuming coffee will become expensive. So the demand of tea will rise. So that is the reason. If this rises, this also rises. So that is the reason it shows that the price of the substitute good and the demand of the given good, they have a direct relationship. And any two variables which have a direct relationship, that is represented by a upward sloping curve. But remember again, it is not a demand curve. So it has been explained to you very well, as you can go through what has been written, and as well as I also explained to you. Next is, students, we see the diagrammatic presentation of complementary good. It is again downward sloping curve. Though we say that demand curve is a downward sloping curve, but this is not a demand curve. This is only a diagram which shows the relationship of price of the complementary good and demand of the given good. So we have taken complementary good as tea and sugar. So we have shown price of sugar on the y-axis and demand of tea on the x-axis. So what do we see if the price of sugar increases or rises? So the demand of tea falls.
So that is a reason two variables moving in opposite direction. That is a reason this curve, the curve which shows the relationship between price of complementary good and the demand of the given good, there is an inverse relationship, hence proved. So we'll continue in the next session the changes in demand curve due to other factors with the help of diagrammatic presentation. We will be taking individual cases so it becomes very clear to you. And moreover, students, I am going to tell you, suppose if a question comes, so how do we write the answer to the same? Obviously, even I'm going to mention certain questions in the worksheet also. So how to answer these type of questions, what points has to be written. So after explaining that, I'm going to discuss with all of you. Thank you so much.